Shame is not an emotion. It is a weapon. And right now someone is loading it, pointing it at you, waiting for you to flinch. The heat rises up your neck. The room goes quiet. Everyone is watching, and your instincts are screaming at you to react, to explain, to fight back, or worse, to apologize. But here is the truth that will change everything. The moment you react, you lose. No, just the argument. You lose your power. You lose your frame. You hand them the keys to your identity and let them drive. Today, that ends. What if I told you there is a method so psychologically precise that it doesn't just protect you from shame, it exposes the attacker completely? No shouting. Just a cold, calculated psychological reversal used by the most powerful people in history. Once you learn this, you will never fear public humiliation again. You will crave it, because you will finally understand what it really is. An opportunity. Phase 1. The kill. When someone attacks you publicly, your amygdala fires like an alarm. It perceives a social threat, the same way your ancestors perceived a predator. Shame meant exile. Exile meant death, so your nervous system goes into survival mode. Your voice tightens, your eyes drop, your brain scrambles, and the attacker wins before you even open your mouth. But here is what most people never realize. The shamer is not attacking from power. They are attacking from fear. A person who is truly secure does not need to make others feel small. Only a desperate person does. When they come at you, they are confessing their own weakness. They see you as a threat. They want to neutralize you before you outgrow them. Once you understand that their attack is a symptom of their insecurity, not a judgment of your worth. The heat disappears. You stop being the victim. You become the observer, and the observer is always the most dangerous person in the room. Phase 2. The void. The most powerful weapon you have is the one nobody expects. Silence. When an insult lands, the natural response is to fill the gap. We explain. We retort. We rush to close the wound because silence feels dangerous. But for the strategist, silence is not a gap. It is a trap. Here is the technique. They deliver the insult. You do not blink. You do not look away. You go completely still. You hold eye contact. Not with aggression, but with dead, flat, clinical calm. You count 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3. In those 3 seconds, the entire room shifts. The audience was waiting for your reaction. When it doesn't come, they look back at the attacker. The attacker expected resistance. They get nothing. They start to panic. Did he hear me? Does he not care? The silence becomes heavy. But it is their awkwardness, not yours. You have refused to pick up the burden they threw at you. So it falls at their feet. They will try to fill the silence. That is the death rattle of their dominance. They are scrambling. Their frame is collapsing, and you haven't said a single word. Phase 3. Psychological judo. No, you speak, but not to defend. Defense is surrender dressed as strength. When you defend yourself, you accept their frame. You stand in their courtroom arguing your innocence. Kings do not argue with peasants. Instead, you become the clinical observer. You look at them the way a doctor looks at a patient who just had an outburst. No, angry, curious. They say, "Wow, you really messed that up." You tilt your head, you pause, and you say quietly, "Are you okay?" Or, "You seem really bothered by this," or the coldest one. That was a strange thing to say out loud. Not as the shift. We are no longer talking about their accusation. We are talking about their reaction. You have made yourself the calm, rational adult, and them the emotionally unstable child. This is frame inversion. They are under the light now. They have to explain themselves. The moment they start defending, they have already lost. There is a variation, even more devastating. The amused agree. They are counting on you to feel ashamed. So you take that away entirely. They say, "You are so arrogant." You smile, look them in the eye, and say, "I know. It is my best quality." You take the bullet and eat it. When you are not ashamed of yourself, no one can shame you. The mud slides off, and the person throwing it ends up with dirty hands. Phase 4. The audience. Shame is a performance. The attacker is not doing this for you. They are doing it for the crowd. They want the audience to agree that you are the lowest rung on the ladder. Most people waste energy trying to win over the attacker. You need to win the crowd. People do not side with victims. They side with leaders. When someone stays calm while being publicly attacked, because you look stable, because you look in control, use this. When they insult you, make brief eye contact with a third party. Give a subtle smirk, a look that says, "Can you believe this?" You bond with the audience at the attacker's expense. The ringleader is now the court jester, and nobody is clapping. Slow everything down. Your movements, your breathing. The person with the most power is always the one trying the least. Let them be the wind. Be the rock. The wind exhausts itself. The rock remains. Phase 5. The nuclear option. Some people are not interested in shame. They want reaction. Any reaction. Any reaction. For these people, there is only one move. You delete them from reality. They speak. You continue what you were doing as if a breeze passed through the window. You do not look at them. You look through them at something more interesting behind their head. This is not the silent treatment. The silent treatment is emotional. This is active non-existence. It says your presence does not register in my world. There is nothing more painful than being completely ignored. Attack acknowledges existence. Indifference erases it. They will escalate. They will get louder. Let them. The louder they get while you remain unbothered, the more unstable they look. They burn themselves alive in the fire of their own desperation. And you are completely at peace. That is the ultimate dominance. Phase 6. The internal fortress. Every technique in this video is useless. If your foundation is weak, you can learn the stare, the silence, the judo. But if you are trembling inside, they will smell it. Micro-expressions never lie. The real work is internal. Shame only has power over the things you are hiding from yourself. Your failures, your past, your insecurities. The shamer can only hurt you with the truth you are running from. The moment you face your own darkness and say, "This is me, and I am not ashamed," you become invincible. There is nothing left to use against you. Face the things that haunt you. Bring them into the light. Accept them without apology. The most vulnerable man is the one hiding behind armor. The most powerful man is the one who has nothing to hide and nothing to fear. When you reach that state, everything changes. You stop walking into rooms wondering if people will like you. You start wondering if you will like them. You stop seeking approval. You start granting it. You become the judge. Phase 7. Surgical strikes. Sometimes, you need to cut, but you cut like a surgeon. One precise incision. No, a lecture. One sentence. Strike 1. The who frame. They insult you. You look at them calmly and ask, who exactly are you trying to impress right now? This exposes the entire performance. It tells the room he is performing for an audience. Strike 2. The repeat command. They say something cruel. You pause and say, "I am sorry, say that again. I didn't catch that." Make them repeat the insult. Insults only work the first time. When they repeat it, the rhythm is gone. It sounds petty. Most will crumble and say, "Never mind." You force a retreat without a single punch. Strike 3, the validation trap. They attack you, You smile calmly and say, I can see things are hard for you right now. You don't have to take it out on me. You become the therapist. You frame their aggression as a cry for help. There is nothing more humiliating to someone who wants to be feared than being pitied. If they get angrier, they prove your point. If they back down, they lose. You have trapped them in a double bind. Either way, you win. Phase 8. The aftermath? Once you have deployed the silence, the stare, or the surgical strike, move on. Immediately. Completely. Do not linger. Do not check if they are watching. Shift your attention to something more interesting. Show everyone that this interaction was so insignificant, it has already been erased from your memory. That is the ultimate insult. No. Anger. No. A comeback. Forgetting them? Make them forgettable. Take away the one thing they wanted. Your attention. Phase 9. Why this matters. This is not just about winning arguments. This is about survival in a world that has become a digital coliseum. Cancel culture. Online shaming. Social dominance games. If you do not have these defenses, you will shrink. You will shrink. You will become afraid to speak, to lead, to exist outside the lines other people drew for you. These techniques are not about becoming cruel. They are about building a wall around your light so the darkness of other people's insecurities cannot touch you. When you can handle anything, you become fearless. You speak up, you take risks, you lead. You stop asking for permission to exist. Shame is a cage. This is the key. Do not use these weapons to destroy the weak. Use them to hold your ground and keep the destroyers at bay. That is the code. You now have the blueprint, the void, the frame inversion, the amused agree, the surgical strike, the nuclear option, the internal fortress. The next time someone tries to make you small, the next time you feel that heat rising in your neck, do not panic, smile. You are no longer the prey. You are the trap. Let them step in. Watch what happens when they realize they are locked in with you, not the other way around. Most people will watch this and go back to being a victim tomorrow. They are addicted to their weakness. But you are still here. That means you are ready. Subscribe. Turn on the bell. We are building something for those who refuse to stay small. I will see you in the shadows.